So 6 years ago, I was having this conversation with an entrepreneur, and he had a successful organization way bigger than my company. And we were sitting there having coffee, and I was just soaking up as much information as he would give me. I was just learning, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know how much I love to learn. So I did it. I just did that young entrepreneurial thing, and I asked him, what should I be doing to help grow my company? Now, to be clear, we were doing fine as an organization. We were growing, we were providing for our families and for our employees, and we had built a nice lifestyle business. Anyways, he drops 2 suggestions. Take pictures. You'll forget where you came from, what you've accomplished. Pictures. Pictures, yeah, pictures. Why don't we take that one step further and do video? And you're experiencing the result of that. The second thing he shared was, replace yourself. You'll always be the bottleneck of your own organization. Now, this rocked me, but it's me. I mean, I am Crema. People hire George and Dan, and they happen to have this place called Crema. But that needed to flip. It needed to be people heard of Crema, and it happened to be owned by this guys named George and Dan. So started my mission. Now, this wasn't going to happen overnight. I was still designing screens. I was still running strategy sessions. I was still in every networking event, and I was in all the sales meetings. And let's be honest, I was still taking out the trash. Now, I did have some additional designers, but I need more. And I'd have to train them, and then I'd have to trust them and let go and see how they would do the work. Then sales. This is one of the biggest challenges, to let go of me being the first person that our clients would meet. We brought in Nate. He crushed it. He learned quickly what Crema does, and actually he helped grow our sales. And finally, strategy. I couldn't be the person that was kicking off every session. I couldn't be the person that was doing all the workshops. I had to teach other people how to do that. I had to bring in strategists and cross-train product managers to dream with our clients, to connect dots, to see opportunity and potential. So it's taken some time. Probably 5 or 6 years, but as of this year, January 2021, I've almost arrived. I've almost gotten to that place of replacing myself, at least for all those things that I was doing before. I no longer design. I'm not in the kickoff sessions anymore, and I'm not a part of any of the sales conversations. We've empowered team members to do that great work. I don't have anybody reporting directly to me anymore, and I'm not servicing any clients. But this doesn't go without a lot of challenge, a lot of trust, because the reality is as I equipped team members to take over the responsibilities, the things that I was doing day in and day out, it meant that I had to trust that they were going to get it done, and maybe they were going to do it a different way than I did. I really had to think about the fact that I couldn't step in and save every situation. But the reality was I was a bottleneck for my organization's growth if I didn't do these things. The biggest challenge is that you're going to start to slip into your old habits. You're going to see things being done a way that you wouldn't have done it, and then you're going to want to go, I need to go fix that. So here's the deal. You have to trust your team. And Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, describes trust as consistency over time, meaning that if you keep showing people you're going to do something over and over and over again, they're going to trust that that's the way you're going to do it. So if you've told a team member, hey, I trust you to do sales, or I trust you to design those screens or to do that workshop really, really well, then you need to let them do it. So the question is, will you step into this discomfort, into this challenge? So here's a few tips to help you think about how can I possibly replace myself? First, take inventory. And you'll notice this on several of our videos. It's really hard to do this challenging thing of making a change on your team or on yourself or in your organization if you don't first say, where are we today? So look at your day. Look at your week. Look at your quarter. What meetings are you being pulled into? What one-on-ones are you participating in? What's the list of activity that you're responsible for? Note which things you have to respond to because no one else will. And then start to look at things where you can go, you know what? This is really important. No one else can do this right now, but I could probably start to let go of that thing. So for me, that was design. We had other designers. I could start to let go of design while I worked more on strategy and sales. Second thing is to invest in your replacements. You heard me talk about this before, but you really need to be thinking about, yes, I'm going to trust these people to do this work, But you need to make sure they know what this work is and how to best do it and what your expectations for it are. So invest into these people, which means number 3, it's gonna be more work before it becomes less work. And what I mean by that is if you're investing in your replacement, if you're bringing up someone who's gonna be doing that work that's been about you for so long, you're gonna have to spend time with that person or that team or multiple teams. You're gonna have to make sure that you share what you know. So you're gonna have to invest both in time, resources, and of course paying these people to do this work, maybe before you actually see a return on your investment, before you see that result. And then finally, step back in only if it's absolutely necessary. So what do I mean? If you see something being done a way that you wouldn't do it, don't step back in. Because if it's still getting done, if this team is still working on creative ways to solve that same problem or create those solutions, give them space. Let them see how they can do it on their own. Trust that your team might do it a different way. Now, there are going to be times you might want to think about stepping back in. If it's actually going to harm the long-term vision of the organization, step back in. If they're doing something that's against the values and the purpose of your organization, step back in. Otherwise, let go. You need to focus on something else. And that's the last piece that I want to talk about. For me, this was an identity crisis. As I let go of these things, me being a designer, me being a strategist, me being this person that can recruit people to work for and with Crema, that felt like, well, then who am I? What am I supposed to be doing now? And I had multiple people speak into my life to say, no, this is an opportunity for you. What's next for you? What's next for Crema, for your team, for your organization, so that you can look at the future, you can see new opportunities, and you can navigate those for and with your team. So let go, empower those teams, equip them, and deploy them, and then focus on what's next. Are you ready? Are you ready to step into that challenge? Are you ready to step into that discomfort that this will take? The marathon that this is going to be, not the sprint, but the possibility to unlock the potential of your team, your organization, and even yourself. Let me know how it goes. Drop us a comment or send me a message because I would love to learn how you deciding to replace yourself changed the trajectory of your team and maybe even your career.